Hello, I'm going to show you some examples of simplifying surds. So these, if you have never done this before, this may be too advanced for you, but it could also be helpful. So when we're simplifying surds, and this is for addition and minusing surds, simplified any further. So you can't simplify it any further. Square root 4, this is a square number. So 4 is 2 squared. So we can do the square root of 4, which is 2, and this is not a surd because it can be simplified to a whole number. Alright, so if we look at question 8a, it wants us to simplify this. So like I said, you can't simplify square root 2 any further. Now if we look at square root 50, we look at the factors in it. It has square root 2, 2 times 25, so we can split it up into two surds with a multiplier in between them. Why did I pick the factors 2 and 25? 25 is the same as 5 squared. So this we can rewrite as 2 times square root 25. Okay, again 98. We're looking for numbers that are squared numbers. So 4 is square root 2, 9 is 4 is 2 squared, 9 is 3 squared, etc. So 98 you can change to square root 2 times 49, because 49 is 7 squared. Okay? So then we got 2. So square root 25, it becomes a 5. And the square root 2 stays the same. The square root 49, it becomes a 7. And the square root 2 stays the same. So we've simplified the surds. Now we're going to simplify it again. We're going to add the surds. So you can add surds if they have the same surd. So they are called like surds. So 2 square root 3 plus 4 square root 3, they are like surds. So all you do is you add these numbers out the front of the surd. 2 plus 4 is 6. So we're going to add all the numbers out the front of the surds for this one. So there's an invisible 1 out the front, plus 5 is 6, plus 7 is 13. So 13 square root 2. So I added the numbers out the front. Alright, so let's have a go at another one. Let's do C. So we've got, that was A, this is C. We've got 5 square root 7 plus 2 square root 5 minus 3 square root 28. So square root 7, that's, can't simplify that. Square root 5, you can't simplify that. Square root 28. I know it has a 4 in it. So square root 28, what's that? Square root 4 times 7. So this becomes, so if it's first. Okay, so the 3 stays the same, square root 4 becomes 2, and square root 7 stays the same. So now we've got 5 square root 7 plus 2 square root 5 minus 6 square root 7. So remember I said if they have the same surd, these two have square root 7, you can add or minus the number out the front. So the 2 square root 5, it doesn't have any other square root 5s, so that stays the same. 5 minus 6, it becomes minus 1 square root 7. And that's it. The final answer for C is 2 square root 5 minus square root 7. That's as far as you can simplify C. Alright, I hope that's been helpful. That was simplifying surds, addition and subtraction.